Let's go back and just talk about the process of making wine first off. Making wine is sort of half science and half art. The reason it's half art is the process is so complicated and they only understand a little part of what's going on. You'd think they've been making wine for thousands of years, that they know everything there is to know about making wine, but they didn't have the science back for most of that. Now they've got some science, and so they're learning a lot of things that they didn't know how to understand before, and now they're understanding them. It's opened up new doors, and they've actually lost some of the art because they started employing the science that they understood, but they didn't understand the science exactly, so they threw away some good things with using the science. But we'll talk more about that a little later. First thing you do when you bring in grapes is you got to break the skins on all the grapes. And this machine right here is what I call my Lucille Ball machine, because most people come in and say, where do you stomp the grapes? Because they used to stomp the grapes to get the juice out, because you got to break the skin on every grape. The juice isn't coming out till the skin's broken. Well, inside the grapes, most of them have seeds. When you break the seeds, they're bitter. So you don't want to break the seeds. Well, feet, they're that nice. You walk on them with your bare feet, and the feet never break the seeds. So this is, and there was a movie where Lucille Ball was doing that, and so everybody, many people have seen that movie, and so and it's sort of comical, so they always say, where do you stomp the grapes? And I think they do it because they think, in part, nobody would stomp grapes with their feet anymore. It's so unsanitary. So then I have fun with that, because I tell them that the reason we don't stomp the grapes with our feet isn't because it's unsanitary. It's just that the feet are too slow. Because this little machine will break the skins on a ton of grapes in an hour. And a ton of grapes is like a pickup truck, back end full. And you think how long it would take to walk on all those and break the skins on all of those. You probably couldn't do it in an hour. But then I say, the reason feet aren't all that bad, from a sanitary point of view, is that when we pick these grapes out here in the vineyard, I bring them up, and we're bringing up a ton of grapes at a time, and we're going to crush it. And you'd like to think I washed them, but I didn't wash them. Because if I washed the grapes, I'd have them wet. Think of a ton of wet grapes and how you get them dry and get the water out of them. If you don't, then what you're doing is adding water to the grape juice. Well, that dilutes the sugars, lowers the alcohol, dilutes the flavor, so nobody does that. Grapes are very acidic, and if you've done any canning or know people that do that, one of the important things is make sure there's enough acid in whatever it is you're canning. You don't have to worry about it. If it's not very acidic, then you got to worry about botulism and all these things. So grape juice is pretty acidic, and then we take it and we settle it first off after we get out here and run it through the press, so that we got a nice clean juice, and most of the bugs and dirt and so forth is all out. And then we put this yeast in, and it eats the sugar, turns it to alcohol, and the alcohol kills about everything else. So there's nothing that can live in wine that's harmful to people. So it doesn't say there's nothing that's alive in there, though, because there are some yeast and funguses that are still around in that bacteria in that juice. but they're in our body anyhow. So. Now, sort of the reason I like doing this is I'm a retired college professor, and I taught a lot of students, and I taught engineering, so I like science, I like making things, doing things. And engineering is trying to take something, some raw material, and turn it into something that's useful to people. So wine is sort of being engineered here. In fact, when I was an amateur, I used to have on one of my wine labels, engineering works so hard. But for me, after I retired, I could do a couple different things. I could sit down and watch television, go out and garden, and I've been happy probably just doing that because I like just being by myself. But I also like being with people, and in this business, I get to meet more people than you can imagine. From every walk of life, who want to learn about wine or make wine or just drink it. And every day is an exciting new experience meeting new people.